G'day guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Bird. I'm a PJ professional based here at the Culbrook Golf Club in Southeast Queensland, Australia. In today's video, we're going to be talking about potentially why you lack rotation in your downswing. We're going to be covering off on the correct movement to make. We're going to be discussing the matchups that are required. We will go through with some drills that you can do to improve, and we're going to then discuss the time frame that we can expect this change required to take. Okay, so you lack rotation in your downswing. Firstly, guys, it isn't all doom and gloom. You can still be a functional golfer with lack of lower body rotation. In today's video, we're going to discuss, what could be potentially causing it and how to correct it. Now, before we move into that, we're going to start with the matchups. So if you do happen to lack rotation in your lower body, there are a couple of matchups that we're likely to see that are going to help you get away with that particular movement. Okay, so the first matchup that's required should you be a player who stalls the hips and lacks rotation is, as we work into the downswing, you often see players have their toe line too far behind their heel line on their club, effectively adding loft to the club face. Okay, this from here, if they then stop the hip moving, it doesn't rotate as much, as they come through, that is going to help square the club face up. Having that club face open, as I say, the toe line behind the heel line, just working down, we're going to add some loft to the face. We're going to re-square it up. Less than ideal. We tend to see players get high, weak ball flights, but it is playable. You'll also notice that the next matchup that's required, and it's part of that same movement, is for the hands at the lower part of the swing as they're approaching impact, is to kind of throw that club head to re-square the face to target, because if they didn't, the face would be blasted way open. We'd have a lot of high, weak cuts to the right. So we've got two matchups that are required there. Number one, the toe sitting behind the heel on the downswing. Number two, throwing the hands early in the downswing to get the face to reorientate. Not the most functional way to hit a golf ball, but I have seen many good players, I'm talking guys in that kind of high single digit handicap or low double digit handicap, that have gotten away with doing that for a long period of time. It doesn't mean that you can't be a good golfer, it's just not the most functional way to do it. So let's discuss the common faults that lead to us having to use those matchups, or that lead to us struggling with rotating of the left side. So why do players struggle to rotate in the downswing? It actually stems from the start of the downswing. And more often than not, it's because we see players get to the top of the backswing and then they just simply pull their arms down, or throw their arms out, probably is more correct term. They throw their arms away from the body line. Well, it's very difficult to kind of rotate from this point in time. So they stall the lower body and they enable the club face to catch up. That can only happen through that lower body slowing down. Again, it's really the start of your downswing. It's that hand motion, that pushing away, that causes the issue. If we can eradicate that movement, if we can eradicate that motion, we can change the start of our downswing to have something else moving first, we're actually going to see that this left side can rotate. It's not through a lack of mobility or a lack of ability. It's just simply an incorrect move to begin with. So what should the correct move look like to start our downswing to help us rotate better? Okay, so the correct motion that we should be looking for is, as we get to the top of the backswing here, we're going to have a small movement forward, and then that left hip is going to start to kind of rotate around, okay? And almost feel like this left side, as we rotate around, the left leg is beginning to extend up. And if you watch this left side here, as I extend my left leg, I instantly get rotation of the hip. So if we can get you guys to have that feeling of shift the pressure forward marginally and then extend that left leg up, we're going to see rotation occur instantly. But what's a great training drill to help us learn to get that movement? And that's probably the important part. How are we going to train effectively to make this a permanent part of our golf swing? Okay, so the training drill that we're going to do, ideally I'd love you guys to have a golf ball on a tee. We're going to make this swing at half speed. It's a common theme, but it's also the most effective way of getting the feeling correct, ensuring that we make the movement the correct way. What we're going to be doing, to begin with, we're going to force ourselves to have to rotate by resetting the club face to be in the correct position. So what I mean by that, we've already spoken about that as we work down, a lot of us will have the toe behind the heel line, which is kind of a matchup. We're going to eradicate that today. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you guys to set up As you work into your downswing, I want you to lower down slowly. I want you to actively and physically turn so your toe is now inside the heel line. That leading edge is going to kind of feel like it matches up to our spine angle, okay? So with our golf ball on the tee, we'll just move that out of the way for now. So with our golf ball on the tee, we're going to stop at this point here, and then what we need you guys to do is to extend this left leg up. As you can see there, and I'll show you guys down the camera line, as I extend my left leg up, I start to create rotation. So we're getting to set up here, slowly work down, match that club face, and then from here, extend. I've now created rotation, I've controlled my club face, and we're going to begin to build that appropriate movement. This is why we have the golf ball on the tee, because if we're trying to make that swing motion with the ball on the ground to begin with, we're going to have very little success, and then through that lack of success, we're very likely to go, this doesn't work, throw it in the bin, and give up on the motion. We know, and I know through students I've worked with, that this particular drill is a great way to help players feel club face control. It's going to force them to move that hip correctly, because the important thing to understand, is probably good to touch upon, if I set myself into this position here and I begin to work this new motion, but I don't get my left hip to clear, every shot I hit is going to be a mile left of target. So we change what's happening here to force a change in the left side. But done correctly, off of a tee at half speed, we're going to be able to hit some relatively good shots, but we're definitely going to see that hip motion improve. Then, as we get confident, guys, that's when we build into, let's hit the golf ball off the ground, and then we're going to go from half speed to 3/4 speed up to full speed eventually when we're feeling confident. But it's very important, if you're going to be doing that, please video yourself to ensure that you're making the movement correctly, because there's no point in training if you then are making the incorrect movement and we aren't going to get the benefits out of the training that we're actually doing. Guys, you're going to see improvement relatively quickly, okay? Yes, there's always going to be some bad in with the good. That's just a given. And you're going to feel like the hip's moving a little bit better, almost, you know, within 1 or 2 training sessions. But here's your reality. For that movement to become natural and fluid, guys, expect it to be somewhere between 4 and 6 months. And as you start to feel like it's making sense, as you start to feel like, hey, this is actually starting to become my new norm, please do not give up on it. Please do not just put it in the back burner and go, I've got this covered now, because that is the quickest way to fall back into old habits. Persevere, push through, and give yourself that minimum of 4 to 6 months of working on this, whilst also recording yourself on video. And I guarantee you're going to see in that period of time, your swing change and it become your new swing, which will mean you won't go back to your old bad habits. As always, guys, I appreciate you taking time to watch today's video. I really do hope you found it helpful, and I do hope that we're going to see that your lower body is starting to rotate better throughout the swing as time goes on. As always, please don't forget to like the video if you found it helpful and that the information was useful for your game. Please feel free to share it. If you have a friend or you know of a golfer that needs some help or this video would be useful for them, please feel free to share it with them. And guys, feel free to leave a comment. You'll see in previous videos, if you do leave a comment, I'll get back to you. I'll answer any questions about today's video, previous videos, or even just general golf questions that could help you. I'll be more than happy to answer it if I can. Guys, above all else, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out when the videos drop each and every week. Please feel free to check out my online academy. It's over at my website, which you'll see up here. It's got a series of courses that are designed to help you improve every aspect of your game. Until next time, guys, happy golfing.